Welcome to Tech Tip Daily. Today I'll be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to utilize ChatGPT for your business. So to begin, simply open up your browser. In this case, we'll be using Google Chrome, and go ahead and type in the correct URL, which is chat.openai.com. Always verify you are using the right URL. Now, once at ChatGPT, go ahead and sign in. You can do so with just connecting your Google account or making an account if you don't already have one. And now once we're logged in and ready to use ChatGPT, one of the best things you can utilize ChatGPT for when you have a business is for the hiring process. So, when you're hiring people or looking for workers for your company or whatever it is you're doing, typically you're going to make a job listing or something on, job websites or something so that people can see what exactly the job is that they're applying for. So when you're creating this, you'll need a job description, and that can be difficult for some to create a perfectly and professionally worded job description. So to do that, you can simply ask ChatGPT to do it for you. So, for instance, we can say, "Can you please create a job description for me? I am looking for someone with," let's just say, at least 5 years of fitness training experience, and let's say friendly, qualified, and welcoming. Let's just say something so simple that we're looking for someone that's, in this case, we're doing it for a fitness trainer. So let's say the position, let's say is personal trainer. So in this case, we're trying to give an example of how we're basically hiring someone for a gym, let's say, and we're looking for a personal trainer, and we basically say, "Can you please create a job description for me? I'm looking for someone with at least 5 years of fitness training experience and friendly, qualified, and welcoming. The position is a personal trainer, let's say, for my gym." And there you have it. It'll create exactly what you're looking for when you're creating the job listing if you're trying to hire someone for your business. So as you can see here, it'll give you the job title, location, employment type, style, depending on what we're doing. And you can follow up with the compensation if you want to list that. And it'll give you a perfect rundown. So you can have responsibilities that you'd want to include and the qualifications that you'd be requesting. They'll even give you recommendations, and you can ask it questions about this to see if you can edit certain things or add in certain things and see what it thinks about that. And you can always frame it in a way if you want the job listing or posting to be friendly, welcoming, or extremely professional. It's up to you to design it the way you like. However, this is a great way to utilize ChatGPT for your business. Another extremely useful thing you can utilize ChatGPT for when running a business is for negotiations. Oftentimes when you run a business, you'll have people trying to negotiate, whether it be on price, whether it be on products, whether it be just simply haggling for something that you're offering. However, when you do that, sometimes it can be easy to turn into your emotional framework. You become very emotional when debating or negotiating with somebody. So it's great to use ChatGPT to help you, organize your thoughts and get things out very professionally. So for instance, you can say, "Can you help me negotiate with a client? I run a painting company and the client only wants to pay $400 per room, and I typically charge $600. Can you help me negotiate respectfully and professionally without going under $550? Let's say $500. And obviously the context is different for everybody depending on what you're negotiating, but this is just an example. And then as you can see, they'll give you a nice response that you can utilize to negotiate with your client. and basically you can copy paste, then do your own editing. Make sure not to include this because it looks very AI generated, but make sure that you make it in your own words to the best of your ability, and it'll give you good responses when dealing with people through email. And even if you were going to deal with them in person, it can give you a good setup for how you would be confronting them in person. So as you can see here, it says, thank you for considering us for your painting project. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. I understand you were hoping to keep the cost around $400 per room. While I always try to be flexible, my standard rate is $600 per room. To ensure the quality and require anyway, I can offer a rate of $500 per room for this project, which still allows me to maintain high standards. So then you can basically do it in a professional, respectful way, and you can set the parameters with ChatGPT ahead of time to make sure it doesn't go below 500, and while still being very respectful with your client. So you can always utilize ChatGPT for negotiations or any other type of professional emails and continuously have responses that are professional, respectful, clean, and organized, as opposed to you just responding emotionally, especially in negotiation situations. Another fantastic thing you can utilize ChatGPT for when utilizing it for your business is to create a logo. So let's go back to the painting company idea. And we can ask it, can you create a logo for me for my painting company, Tech Tip Painting? And you can give it some sort of ideas of what you'd want. Please make it red with neon and include a paintbrush. We'll give it a minute to process an image. Sometimes this takes, between 1 to 5 minutes, depending on how busy it is, since we're using the free version. But it'll help you generate a logo for your painting company, in this case, your painting company, or whatever company that you like. And you can also, once it's done, ask it to edit it, depending on how you like the image. If you don't like certain things, you can change the color, you can change the, you can even upscale it. You can ask it to do multiple things to edit your logo to the way that you like. You can also go down here, well, if this wasn't processing, you can click the little plus sign and upload your logo directly that you already have and ask it to edit your photo too. It doesn't only have to generate an original logo, it can edit and utilize the one that you already have and make it better. And you can even ask it how you can improve the logo to appeal to whatever audience you would like. And there you have it. It created this logo, which looks fantastic to me, at least in terms of what we described, and it matches exactly what we were looking for in terms of the logo. So now I can also ask it another question just to show you the editing of how you can edit the logo if you didn't like it. So we can say, can you also include a paint bucket? And then it'll go ahead and edit the image and add in the paint bucket, hopefully. Sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, keep that in mind, but you can always reprompt and do it again and again until you feel perfect with the logo that it generates. And there you have it. It included the paint bucket like we asked. It even included a little drip to make it very clear that it's a paint bucket, and that's exactly what we were asking for. And like I said, you can also utilize your other images, if you have one, by uploading it and editing a logo that you already have, as opposed to just generating a new one and editing from scratch. So that's a good way to utilize ChatGPT for your business, a very easy way to create a logo, as opposed to asking a designer or someone else to create it for you, or struggling to make it yourself. And finally, another thing you can utilize ChatGPT for to basically improve your business or anything in that regard is you can utilize it to help you write emails. For instance, if your business is having some sort of promotion and you have an email list, you can ask it to create you a prompt or a setup for your email, or a template that basically creates it in a professional manner to let everyone on your email list know that you're having some form of promotion. So for instance, in terms of the painting company idea, let's say, for the summer, my painting company is having a 20% off on all exterior paint jobs. Can you please create an email template to let my template that I can email to all previous customers. So basically you can create this sort of prompt. So for the summer, my painting company is having a 20% off on all exterior paint jobs. Can you please create an email template that I can email to all previous customers? Now this will help you create an email template that you'll be sending on it as for anyone that you have on your email list if you have a business that runs on things like that. So in this case, my painting company, I'll also name Tech Tip Painting. So we'll do it like this, and we'll see what it pulls out. See, and it'll create you basically a email body as well as the subject line that you can select, and then you'll be able to basically type in everything that you'd want to be adding into it so that it can be as professional as possible. You can also ask it, can you make it completely copy pastable? And that way you can just copy it, paste it in, and you'll have the exact template that you want to utilize for your business. In this case, it's the painting business. That's, for you, you can adjust it to however you like, but just to give you an idea on how you can create a nice template for any promotions that you'd want to be holding, and you can do a mass email by utilizing it, making it 100 times easier than typing it out yourself and going through that entire process. And you can also ask ChatGPT to edit it and give you advice on how it can be better for your specific industry. For instance, should I say, I can ask, should I also include that the paint is free for this period? Meaning like the paint itself, in this case, is free. As usually clients have to pay for the additional paint. Let's see. And it'll give you a full write-up on that being included, and you can ask it for advice on anything else. And you can copy-paste it right into the email and create a mass email for your business. So hopefully that helped you guys out, and you learned some way or some things that you can utilize ChatGPT for your business. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.